What's going on, guys? Standing next to me is a car that I feel doesn't get as much attention as it deserves. This is a W202 C36 AMG, and as it should, fat fives, black exterior, black interior, kind of looks like a mobster car, as it should for a Mercedes. This one, you gotta love a black on black Mercedes, especially a C-Class like this. Now, my father used to have one a few years back. It wasn't an AMG, it was just a silver 2.8 liter C-Class Benz. And that's the car that really got me introduced to some of these C-Classes. Very interesting, and that car drove really well. It was actually a really fun car to drift, by the way. So you wouldn't really expect a Mercedes to do that, but it actually had a really nice differential, and the rest of the car communicated very well. And it was very predictable to drive and very interesting to see on the street. You definitely don't see these cars every day. I mean, you may see a regular one, regular C-Class every now and then, but recent few years I haven't seen many on the road. Now, I got a hold of this one from Chicago Fine Motors, great dealership, and they got a hold of this car, and this is a good example. Very clean body, doesn't show any signs of rust whatsoever. Very nice car. It appears to be original paint from what I've seen. I've just skimmed over the car briefly. I don't see anything sticking out in the body whatsoever. This is a great example of a C-Class AMG. So the C36 is rated at about 270 horsepower, does 0 to 60 in about 5.8 seconds, and has a top speed at about 155 miles an hour. Driving wise, it's very comfortable. It's actually very civilized, and when you step on the gas pedal, it delivers on power. It's not a slouch whatsoever, and you could feel that with the inline six's torquiness, it can really pull you out of anything. The shifts are very crisp, they're very smooth, and this is something, this car drives very well. This car you could feel is a massive car. It's very well built, and in terms of today, I feel like that sort of craftsmanship has kind of lost its way. And that's why me, for example, I really like to buy older cars, and I feel safer in older cars. They're a lot more massive. They've just been built differently. There's a different way of how they've been going through the process of building cars. Driving the E36 M3 that I had a 99. Before that, I had a 93. It's very similar era with this car. They were built essentially during the same timelines. The E36 was 92 to 99. This one was 93 to 2000. So I mean, both 7 years. And the E36 is a little bit more uncomfortable than this car is. And this car, I mean, for today's standards, I mean, it's super, super smooth. I mean, it doesn't feel like you're driving. It feels like you're just floating over everything. I mean, I've never experienced that with any car except for like a Crown Vic. I mean, those things, full frame cars, super smooth to drive. I mean, this car, unibody car, very well built, and just feels like you're driving over everything. And a little bit of body roll, but you know what? I feel safe in it. Now, with some cars with excessive body roll, you're very afraid what you do with the steering. And with this car, I feel very comfortable. Now, with this, you could do highway speeds easily. You could cruise, do road trips. I mean, there's so much you could do with this car and enjoy it. I mean, this is something really that I feel like is a diamond in the rough that people just don't pay attention to, especially an AMG. I mean, it's like BMW and M, Mercedes and AMG. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. It's a specialty car, and you know, I think that maybe this car will have a certain point where it will be appreciated and people will learn to like it more. But I mean, this car, it's got sunroof, leather interior, really nice AC. Today was a really hot day. I got to enjoy a nice luxury sedan with AC, which is nice. And for as old of a car as it is, you know, mid-90s, I mean, the car's got a little over 20 years on it, and all the bells and whistles really haven't lost their luster. I mean, everything works. And that's really a very typical thing to see a car where there's lots of issues that come up, such as like with all the little things typically like to break, such as AC, some of the electronics. But if you have a car such as this that has been driven throughout the time it's been around and taken care of, it's something that will take care of you. And seeing as though you could tell just by driving this car that it's been well taken care of, you could feel it. And it's got new tires on it. I mean, the suspension feels good. And I mean, it's got some body roll, but I mean, if you get into sticky situations, I mean, you could maneuver the car. The car is very well maneuverable, yet comfortable. I mean, when Mercedes was designing this car, you could feel that it was made to perform, yet with a little bit of compromise that this car was also meant to be a luxury sedan. This one is actually for sale, and all around a very interesting car and not something you see every day. So if you're interested in looking at one of these, let me know. Send me some comments, give me a like, share the video, subscribe for more car reviews. I have lots of projects on my channel. Feel free to browse some of my videos, and appreciate the view, and thanks for watching.
Invincible.